Hi folks, welcome to Quite Genius, the channel dedicated to inspiring you to get the best out of life. My name's Pete, and coming up in this video I'll be doing a full review and walkthrough tour of the Grand Hotel in York. I'll also show you the afternoon tea experience there, and of course I'll do a full tour of arguably one of the best suites in the hotel. It's called the Heritage Suite, room 454. You'll absolutely love that one. And towards the end of the video I'll do a full price breakdown detailing exactly how much it costs to stay there for the 2 nights that we did. Let's go to York. So, welcome to York, and it's just coming up on 12:30 and we're probably about a minute or so away from the Grand, and I just thought I'd take some time to give you a little bit more information about the location. The Grand really is quite well located. It just runs along the city walls. If you are arriving by car though, I would definitely recommend using the postcode for a sat-nav, or you can use the What 3 Words location on the screen if you really are cool. But in terms of parking, there's a couple of options, and the first one is the NCP car park, which is literally a stone's throw away from the hotel. It's situated on Tanner Row. The only thing about this car park is it's not particularly cheap. It's going to cost you £26.95 for 24 hours. Or what you can do is you can go to the concierge desk within the hotel and they will give you a discounted ticket, and I think it costs £21 per 24 hours. Now, if you happen to be arriving by train, then you're also in luck because the station is about a 4 or 5 minute walk away, I would say. And the good thing to note about the train station is that it's got a couple of handy shops there. It's got a Sainsbury's local and a WH Smith. Both of these are great if you need a couple of essentials for your stay. And like I said, it's about a 4 or 5 minute walk back to the hotel along a nice tree-lined street. And it's considerably quicker, by the way, than the 11 hours and 42 minutes that it took me to learn how to create the graphics to go with that explanation. So I did mention that you've got another option when it comes to parking, and it's the one that we're going to use. It's the Valet Parking service. Now, this is obviously, you're going to pay a premium for this. It's £35 per night. But my take on this is that if you're going to stay at a hotel as nice as the Grand, then why not start as you mean to go on? And the valet parking service that they do there really does get your stay off to a special start. It makes you feel special. So I would highly recommend it. Now, we've got a couple of hours before we can check in, so we're going to do the afternoon tea and maybe go for a couple of drinks in the bar as well. And we can do that safe in the knowledge that the chap on the door is going to take our luggage, he's going to store it safely. I can give him the car keys and pretty much forget everything and basically begin relaxing, which is what we came here to do.
That's okay.
So we've just arrived at the Grand Hotel for the afternoon tea. They do a couple of different menus here. We've just gone for I think the standard one, I'm not quite sure, which is the Grand Afternoon Tea. The price I think is £39.50. The lady's just been over actually to take our order for tea, and she came to start us off with some lemon tea. It's kind of nice, but that's just like the sort of, I don't know, palate cleanser, I'm not quite sure. It's a starter tea. I don't know, I've never done this before. It was lemon and elderflower. It was a little sample that they gave at the beginning of the service, and it was the Grand's tea of the month. It was really quite nice, just so you know. Just in case you're watching from across the pond in America, you may have heard the story of the fabled tea time alarm, and this is pretty much it. This is what you must do when the alarm goes off in England. The tea time alarm, this is what you must do. You must come to a place exactly like this and basically order tea. So just bear in mind, if you are coming to York, you can come to the Grand Hotel and you'll hear the alarm go off anyway. And when you do, you just make to the Grand Hotel. It's centrally located, and order afternoon tea, and that's pretty much it. There are fines if you don't do that, so just make sure to pay attention to the alarm. Cheers! So the food's just arrived and it looks absolutely amazing. Just on the bottom shelf, because tea in England is served on shelves, you've got the beef brisket there, and the second one is the smoked salmon, followed by the coronation chicken, and also there's a mini quiche there and a little sausage roll just on the end. On the second shelf, you can't quite see, but just wrapped in the serviette there, you've got some warm scones. And then moving up to the top deck, you've got some little cakes there that look absolutely amazing. Not quite sure what they are, but the best part is that this is actually one of those each. There was a lot of food, and the staff have been really nice to box up all of the food that we didn't eat. So yeah, we'll enjoy that in the suite a little bit later on. For now, though, we've just come to the bar across the way. It's the 1906 bar, and I think a few drinks are definitely in order. So yeah, we'll catch you in a bit. Cheers. Well, here it is. It's room 454. It's one of the heritage suites, and this particular one is situated in the newer part of the hotel. And as soon as you walk in, you can tell it's got a very light and airy feel to it. Just on the left-hand side, there's a small storage area there, plus you've got the obligatory hotel safe as well. Now, I was going to pull the curtains back to show you the view on that particular side. However, it is just the car park. In fact, I think it might be the one that I was telling you about earlier, the NCP one at Tanner Row, so it really is close by. The first thing to show you, though, of this suite really is the bathroom, and the first thing that you notice is just how immaculately clean it looks and feels. It's beautifully presented in white marble. You've got a bath there on the right-hand side with a shower just above it. It's not the only shower in this bathroom, and I'll show you that in a moment. But should I be making a big deal about the molten brown toiletries? I kind of feel like I should. Is it the sort of thing that only hotels buy, or do you guys buy it as well? To me, it just seems like something that you would do maybe to impress your neighbours. You know, like when Brian and Margaret come round for a cup of tea and you just hope that they use the loo just so you can show off your molten brown hand wash. I don't know. Let us know. Anyway, you're looking at a rainfall shower there. We tried that last year. It really is quite nice. And just panning the camera around, and you'll see just on the other side you've got a really nice sink unit there, again all done in white marble, and there's a vanity mirror there which is handy, and as you would expect, a really nice clean looking toilet. So the whole feeling to this suite at the moment is just one of clean. So just stepping outside the bathroom, and just on the right hand side you can tell that there's a full length mirror. I'm not going to show you that because otherwise you'd see me and probably never watch a video again. But you've got a nice looking desk here, and that book just on the desk there, it's information about the hotel and the restaurants and the food that you can get. And you've also got the tea and coffee making facilities there as well, which is especially handy just in case the tea time alarm goes off and you're inside. Just worth noting that being inside doesn't excuse you from afternoon tea, so you must still do it. And the main event though is in the living room, and you can see, I say the living room, the seating area there. It's really nicely presented as well, as you would expect. You've got a large TV and quite a large bed. In fact, it's a king size bed. Just so you know, we knocked that pillow over when we came here. I forgot to put it back. Just in case the decision to stay at this particular suite is based on the sockets next to the bed, I can confirm that it does actually have sockets, and there's a USB port, a USB port even there as well. And just panning the camera around again, you can see just out the other windows, you've got a nice view over the city there as well. Now, I don't know whether you can see this, just if I was to pan the camera down. Yep, you can. Right, so that's just on the other side of the glass there, and there appears to be a balcony basically, but there's no access to it. And I know it's not set up for any furniture or anything like that, but I wonder why, because it just seems to be a little bit of a shame to me to have that space that's wasted. Maybe it was insurance purposes or planning, whatever. But if they converted that to a proper terrace, you'd have like almost like a penthouse suite. And just underneath the TV, you have a storage unit there. There's a cupboard with some drawer space in there. And it's the same on the other side as well. However, in the middle, if you just pull this out, you've got a fridge, a minibar. Now, there's no alcohol in there. I think the contents are complimentary. There's not a great deal in there, so I can't see them charging for that. There's just a couple of soft drinks in there. So there it is, folks. That is the Heritage Suites at the Grand. As you can see, we're really impressed with this. But just one thing that I forgot to show you, and I think this was a really nice touch just for Glenn's birthday. Just on the table there, they left us some chocolates with happy birthday. There was a happy birthday card there as well. Now, we may have had one or two of these chocolates before we started filming, but that was a really nice touch. So yeah, really impressed with this suite, and I would highly recommend it. So Glenn's just gone for a power nap, and I've just taken it as an excuse to come down for another beer in the bar. We're going to go out this evening to the Ivy in York. We've decided to just do a little bit more exploring around the city. However, you can also get food at the hotel. They've got two restaurants, the first of which you've already seen. It's the Rise restaurant, and they serve dinner there between 5:30 and 9:30, I think it is. But they also do another restaurant as well. It's called The Legacy, and this is where they serve a tasting menu. Now, it is quite pricey, so it's a little bit beyond my budget. Unfortunately, I can't show you that one. But your third option is you can also get some food and snacks here in the bar. They do a really decent menu, and they serve food here between 12 p.m. and 10 p.m. So I'm going to grab this beer and then do a little bit more filming around the hotel and show you a little bit more about what you can expect. And what better place to start than the gents' toilets? Okay, I know this might seem a little bit weird. There is nobody else here, by the way, otherwise that really would be weird. But the reason that I wanted to show you this is just to show just how immaculately clean the hotel is, and a good indication of anywhere is just the quality of the toilets, and that's why I thought I'd show you. But the other reason, and this might sound a little bit petty, but things like this make me really happy. Like, for example, those taps. Like for grown-ups, where you don't need to keep your hand pressed down on the button to make the water come out. You can actually turn them on and off again, just like an adult would do. They also have the Molten Brown hand wash, which is another sign just of the quality of this place. But the other thing that makes me smile is this little basket, and it's just got paper towels in, but they're really quite thick. So no unhygienic hand dryer or anything like that. You've just got quality throughout the hotel, and that's why I wanted to show you this. They've even got a little box of tissues there for you. So yeah, call me weird, I don't care, but I just thought it was worth showing you just how nice and clean the place is. So throughout most of the corridors you're always going to see pictures on the wall, and I think a lot of it is to do with the history of the hotel and also York itself. But one of the really nice features about the Grand is there's all sorts of little side areas where you can just sit and relax. This is one of them. This is just outside the Rise restaurant. You can tell there's a lot of history in this place. So as you enter the lobby, you can't help but be impressed by the dramatic staircase in front of you, and the Grand is actually a Grade 2 listed building, and it's a stunning example of Edwardian architecture. which sounds exactly the sort of thing that somebody would say if they knew a lot about Edwardian architecture, which I don't. So I'll simply say that it's just a beautiful building. And it was actually commissioned back in 1900 by the North Eastern Railway Company, and it served, or it was to serve as their headquarters. Now, North Eastern Railway was one of the most powerful and certainly one of the richest companies of that time, and clearly no expense was spared in its build and its design. In fact, the Grand's award-winning history started back in 1904 when the building reportedly won a silver medal for its design at an exhibition in Paris. But more recently, in 2010, it got a new lease of life and it opened its doors as the Cedar Court Grand Hotel and Spa, which is a bit of a mouthful. However, in 2014, it got taken over by a company called Splendid Hospitality Group, and they rebranded it as the Grand, which is much more manageable. Just 4 years later, after they acquired it, they spent 15 million, I think it was, on redeveloping and extending the entire place. The hotel originally had 107 rooms, and their extension added another 100 on top of that, plus another restaurant as well. And I think it was about a year later that they then opened a cookery school even in the modern side of the hotel. But the Grand remains York's only 5-star hotel, and you can tell that they're incredibly proud of that fact, and deservedly so, I would say. So there are a couple of areas that I'm not going to be able to show you, I'm afraid. The first one being down these stairs that you can see is just cordoned off there. This is where the spa would normally be, and that closed down in May this year, and I believe it's going to be closed for probably about a year, undergoing a £2.5 million makeover. One of the things that they are keen to point out though on this sign is that the treatments that you could have got from the spa are all still available, and that's going to be in the Grand treatment rooms, which have just opened. You can also hire bikes from reception if you wanted to get around York and do a bit of exploring. Oh my God, they've even suggested Grand running groups. Get outside and enjoy the fresh air with our scenic running routes in York. Yeah, why would you? Just get an Uber instead. That's more my style. So this is now the sort of crossover point between the old part of the building, and I'll just pan back. And then if I come back round, you can feel a noticeable difference when you cross through these doors, because it becomes all very contemporary. So you can see that just on the sign that they serve breakfast from 7 till 10:30 in the Rise. You can also do afternoon tea, which is what we did when we first arrived, from 12:30 until 4, and then dinner in the Rise restaurant between 5:30 till 9:30. Oh, welcome back to the Rise restaurant. We're here this morning for breakfast. They serve it between 7 and 10:30 in the morning, and you've got a couple of choices. You can either use the a la carte menu or do what we are doing and use the buffet service. So we'll just show you that, and starting off with the unhealthy section, you've got all of the pastries, the croissants and the muffins, and there's also a variety of jams and preserves there which you can use for toast, and they've even got one of those cool toasty machines that you only ever seem to find in hotels for some reason. Now, when we was here yesterday for afternoon tea, you couldn't really appreciate just how nice this place was because it was quite full. Now that it's a bit more empty, you can tell what a nice environment it is to come and have some food, whether you're here for dinner or breakfast. It really is a nice place. So just move into a slightly more healthy section now. You've got all of the cooked meats, and there's also some fresh fruit and yogurts as well. They also have a variety of different breakfast cereals, and you can get different types of milk, soy milk if you're lactose intolerant, and also regular milk as well. But the section that we always gravitate to is where they do the cooked breakfast. Now, we had a couple of technical issues with the camera this morning, so I had to hand it over to Glenn because I was getting really frustrated. So yeah, he's the one doing the filming, and we'll just show you the cooked breakfast selection now. Now, we did come to the Grand last year and we had breakfast, and yeah, it really is quite nice. So all of the hot food is in these containers to keep them warm. And we'll show you what's in each. And yeah, starting with the sausage, we had these last year and they were really, really nice. Good quality sausages. And the same is true, I think this is going to be bacon. Yep, and bacon was really nice as well. Now, they will make eggs for you if you ask them, but if you wanted to help yourself, you can take some scrambled eggs from here. And of course, you've got the mushrooms to go with it, the British mushrooms there. Again, really good quality food. Just next to that, you've got some tomatoes. Yeah, you can keep those. Not a fan of tomatoes, except weirdly on pizza. And you've got the hash browns there as well, and black pudding. Yeah, not really a fan of that, but good to know. And weirdly noodles, which is a bit random. But he forgot the baked bean pot next to it. Baked beans are the best bit. Anyway, that's about it for the breakfast. I hope you found that useful. You can get the breakfast, it's £25 per person, which I think is really good value for the quality that you actually get. Just to quickly show you the bar area there where you can order juice and yeah, orange juice, apple juice, and they'll also bring you tea and coffee if you like. So that just about wraps it up for this video, but I did say at the beginning that I would share with you the price breakdown, and we stayed there for 2 nights on the 10th and the 11th of June, and the accommodation rates, or the room rates, was slightly different for the 2 nights. So for the first night it was £287.10, and then on the second night it was £296.10. We also did breakfast on each of the 2 mornings that we were there, so that was £25 each, so it was £100 in total for the breakfast. And then add to that, we did the valet parking service as well, and that was £35 per night. So that gives a total of £753.20, but we also did the afternoon tea, and that was £39.50 per person, which brings the total spend of that stay to £832.50. No, it doesn't, £832.20. Now, I know some of you may wince at that cost, but I would say that that represents excellent value for money, and I've not been paid to say that, by the way. But when you consider the value of what you're actually getting for that, you're staying in a beautiful hotel in a really nice location, and it's immaculately clean. The bedroom, or the suite rather, was extremely comfortable. We had a really good night's sleep. And on top of that, you've got the friendliness of the staff. They couldn't do enough for you. The service was just impeccable throughout. So yeah, I see value in that, and yes, it falls into the luxury end, and we don't get to do that often at all. However, as a treat, it really was a good stay. Would I return there? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. That's the Grand has become one of my happy places. So yeah, we'll certainly be back. So that really does bring us to the end of the video, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and found the content useful. If you have, please be sure to drop us a like or a comment below. But even better, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be really appreciated. Quite Genius is brand new to YouTube. In fact, I'm brand new to YouTube. Can you tell? So yeah, that would really help grow the channel. I've got plenty more content to come. Some of it's travel related, some of it's not. But either way, hopefully I've gone some way at least to inspiring you to get the best out of life. And as you can see, I don't take myself too seriously. So thank you so much again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.